Greetings, everyone. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Day 16. And I'm feeling very good. Had a good day, emotional day. I'll talk about that tomorrow. And I've reached what I was really after in all this was to reach stage 4. And that happens about 16 days, 15, 16 days in, where you really get into the healing, the deep healing. So you might ask, well, why stop at 17? And, well, why continue? I'm healing. I feel good. I've exceeded my desires, expectations in that sense. And I wasn't doing it for any other reason other than to, go further than I had, to see what it felt like to go into a deeper fast, to experience that, to see what it would do to the mind and the kind of, I guess, what I could distill from that process, what it breaks down. When it breaks stuff down, your mind clears and you look like crap and emaciated, but there's a bounce back. I've experienced that, so we'll see. And of course, people see you and they're like, "Oh my God, you're so thin," and I am. Also, my weight has just stopped. So it's like I'm at 156.3. So I went from yesterday 156.8 to 156.3. And I think my partner suggested that part of why my voice might be so hoarse is that, according to Dr. Furman in one of the books on fasting I read, is that what will happen is during a deep fast, parts of your body will get targeted for healing. Like if you have a bad shoulder or a bad back. Well, in my case, I chewed tobacco for 27 years. So even though I've had no problems with my throat per se, that's a lot of damage. So I think there's some healing going on there. And I have, like just back stuff, and you can feel it in there. Everything else, I did some restorative yoga today, which is mostly laying around, but it's good. A lot of breathing and, relaxation. Very good. Tomorrow I'm going to do what's called, it's from PNIDX2, called Recovery and Mobility. It's an hour-long. It's movement, mobility stuff, and foam rolling. So I'm on a recovery week, so I'm going to recover as I break my fast on Sunday morning and do a recovery week. I also just finished 6 months of movement training and really enjoyed that, and I feel so strong. My body, I feel like I'm moving better than I have in probably before my 20s, and I weigh less before. I weigh less than I did when I graduated high school, so I don't know what that means. But for those of you that are very interested in weight loss, your body will burn what it needs to burn in that sense. So your freezer in your body, when we carry around, thousands of calories to burn for the famine times. This is my famine. I'm experiencing a famine time. I'm not starving. You will burn that, but it's not going to burn it fast after a while. It's going to burn it real slow based on your reserves and what you're doing. So even though I'm moving and I've done training most of this entire 2 weeks, even though I've been doing all that training and movement, my body still used what it could. So one of the questions I've read about, people have asked, can you build muscle while you're fasting? And you're not going to lose muscle mass, you're going to lose fat from your muscle. Can you build it? It will repair itself. It's going to repair itself with the same stores that you use from the fuel that you eat. What's the difference? As Dr. Fung says, the difference is between it's like a refrigerator versus a freezer, right? That's the difference. So whatever you have in your body that's stored is going to be used to repair your muscles. Otherwise, in the 2 weeks, my muscles would just be in tatters and I'd be messed up. But I'm not. They've healed. So does that mean I'm getting bigger? Muscle mass is based on like the resistance. If you read Fung, if you want to gain muscle mass, you use resistance, right? You exercise. If you want to, the fuel you already have, that's important. You need to burn those calories to use it. Amino acids, it's all the triglycerides, they're all stored in your body for a while, right? So there's a debate about that. There's that you can't build muscle unless you're just pouring calories in there. And there seems to be a disconnect about what has been commonly thought versus what some of the research is saying, Dr. Fung in particular. And there's some really good stuff to read about if you're interested. So I've found it quite fascinating. Now, if you're a bodybuilder, I don't know, unless you're cutting, you'd use intermittent fasting. That's different. And bodybuilding isn't good for you. Everybody knows that, so buyer beware, right? But so yeah, the deep fast, you slow down. I feel slow. And I think I could drive, but I chose not to today. But it feels good to be here. Feels good to be here. But I'm very excited to break my fast. Tomorrow's day 17, and I'll break my fast on the morning of day 18. And but yeah, I think the benefit of fasting this deeply is that how the body balances itself out when you get into that sense of things, and you break down all these barriers and stuff, and you start to be able to see differently. You can penetrate the barrier that keeps you separate from things, the self, the ego, that gets busted up, and you stop worrying about things that are irrelevant, which almost everything is. Just be. The being orientation, as Fromm would say. Eric Fromm. Good stuff. And I think that's what people can take from a long fast. People are very gung-ho to lose weight. I get it. It's very effective. But a lot of people get frustrated, I see, because it doesn't come fast enough. And I think it takes time. And you have to burn those stores, but you will, in time. And I will transition to a mainly vegan ketogenic diet, which I have mentioned multiple times, and we'll talk about in greater depth, especially tomorrow, as I prepare to break my fast. I will tell you what I'm breaking it with. This is actually stage 5. We'll talk about stage 5 and why I selected that, and why you got to be careful after a deep fast. As I've mentioned a few times, it can be very damaging if you do it wrong and just, start eating bacon and eggs, which I've read that people said they have. Well, I'm not going to be doing that. So, yeah. Until next time. Until tomorrow, day 17. Day 16 is done. No more spills, which is good. This is healing. Got a big old bruise on my side. Huge. So move slowly. I still get dizzy spells if I go too quickly. Like if I get up right now and move. That's why you don't run with scissors, right? Until tomorrow.